Okay, this is the second part of the Pythagorean Theorem video, and we're going to talk about how to find a missing side. So we're going to use the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find the missing side. Now, if you're given two sides and you're asked to find the third side, this is how you would do that. So let's say that you're given two sides and the sides are 3 and 4, just like the one in our video. So 3 units and 4 units. Well, we need to find C, or the hypotenuse. So we're going to take 3, A is going to equal 3, B is going to equal 4, and C is going to be the unknown. We don't know what it is. So we're going to plug it into our formula. So instead of A, we're going to replace that with 3. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared, because we don't know what C is. Now we're just going to simplify this side of the equation. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4 times 4 is 16, equals C squared. What we're going to do next is we're going to add 9 and 16, and that'll give us 25, equals C squared. At this point, this is what's different. We normally don't end up with a variable that's squared. It's usually just the variable equals something. But all this means is that the square of C is equal to 25. So therefore C squared, or this square, is 25 units. So you have to tell me what's one side of that square. And that's the same as taking the square root of something. So you take the square root of both sides, and the square root of C squared is just C, and then that equals 5. So the square root of 25 is 5, because one side of a square that's 25 units would equal 5. And so therefore you have your third side, or your hypotenuse. Now the other type of question is sometimes you're going to be given a problem where you're only given 2 of the sides, and one maybe is a leg and not the hypotenuse. So let's say that you're given, here's a triangle, and let's say that you are given one side is 3 units and another side is we don't know, and then the third side, or the hypotenuse, is 8 units. So the way you would do this is, well, we know that the two sides that connect to make the right triangle here are going to be the legs. So this would be A and this would be B. And if you wanted to reverse those, you can, because they're on the same side of the equation. And then 8 is equal to C. So again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. We're going to take and we're going to replace A with 3 plus B squared equals, and we're going to replace C with 8 squared. So let's go ahead and simplify our exponents. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus b squared equals 8 times 8 is 64. And then all we're going to do now is we want to get b squared all by itself. So since we're adding 9 to b squared, we're going to subtract 9 from this side of the equation. We're going to subtract 9 from this side of the equation. So if we subtract 9, positive 9 and negative 9, we get 0. And then we're just left with b squared is equal to, now what we're going to do here is we're going to subtract 9 from 64. Well, if I were to subtract 10 from 64, I'd have 54, so that's 1 less, so then it would be 55. So what's going to happen here is b squared is going to be, we're going to take the square root of b squared, so we are left with b, and then we have to do the same thing on the other side, because anytime you have equals sign, you have to take the square root of that side too. So the square root of 55, well, that's not so easy to do in your head, so we're going to use a calculator. In fact, I'm going to use one that I have in the classroom. So real easy, you just take and you take 55 and you hit the square root button right here. And that's going to give us 7.416. So let's round to the nearest tenth, and it would be 7.4. So that would be the answer. So this side, B, is equal to 7 0.4 units.